It's not everything that happens in your life that is God's will. I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's not everything that happens in your life that is the will of God. God is so innocent of some of the things that we've been accusing him of with the phrase, it's God's will. Yes, you can be a child of God, spirit-filled, walking in purpose, and yet certain things may still happen in your life that is not entirely the will of God. There are so many other factors at play. Let's start with the fact that God made us with the ability to make decisions. He said, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and dine with him. Now, I know most times we interpret this scripture only in the context of salvation. But what if this is also the same way he stands at the door and knocks at every junction of our life? When you're about to make certain decisions, when you're about to take certain steps, or when he puts a strong nudge in your heart and you choose to ignore it. There are lives that have been lost, which were not God's will. There are destinies that have been delayed, which was not God's will. One of the scriptures that came alive to me this year was where he said, every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you shall condemn. Do you realize how weighty that really is? It means that there are certain delays, there are certain patterns in life that will only shift when you rise up and condemn the voice that has risen against you in judgment. The onus is on you to act, to bind, to stand, to speak. If you don't, you might end up experiencing certain things that were never meant to happen, and then you will wrongly label them God's will. Yes, there's absolutely a place for the will of God, but there's also a place where it's not his will, and yet he cannot override his principles or come down from heaven to do what he has already empowered you to do. Maybe it's an attitude you refuse to work on. Maybe it's a spiritual sensitivity that you still need to sharpen. Maybe it's a spiritual delay that you've accepted as God's timing, instead of rising up and breaking the jugular. The truth is, not everything is his will. Some things persist because we have left them unchallenged. Take a moment to reflect. What have you been calling God's will that may not really be his will? What have you allowed to continue because you didn't rise up and speak against it? I want you to please share in the comments. Has God opened your eyes to realize that something wasn't his will after all? Please, let's talk about it. And if this has stirred something in you, please drop a word in comments that says, I'm learning to discern and not just to accept.